Hi everybody, how you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to be doing an in-depth video review about our new Predator 9000 watt startup watt 7250 continuous running watts generator, which is this bad boy here. The reason why we bought this generator is because for emergency preparedness. In our area, we live in Chicago. We don't lose power that often, maybe once, twice a year, and usually for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. Sometimes it's not weather related, other times it is. But for the most part, we've been blessed where we have not lost any food. We, were able to, you know, function without power for those many hours. It wasn't always all that hard, but it wasn't always that easy either. So, and just trying to make sure that we have everything that we need, especially now that my wife works from home, our children are doing e-learning from home. We can't even afford to go an hour without having power in our home. So for us, this right here, this portable generator was a solution. Now, I did do a lot of research online, educating myself about generators, educating myself about different features, sizes of generators, how to maintain them, and all different kind of things. And I learned a lot. I'm going to share some of that knowledge with you throughout this video. Also, I just want to let you know that I've already pre-recorded some videos already in regards to other things that I wanted to share that I'm going to put into this video. So some things may seem out of time, but it's only because as I was preparing to shoot the video, there was just certain times that I wasn't able to do the videos in a chronological order like I would have. And I have to just shoot my videos whenever it is that I have time. So now I'm going to go ahead and give you, a more in-depth review about our Predator generator. So I just wanted to show you an easy way that you can figure out what your energy usage is. So we have ComEd is our energy provider, and this is our online account that we registered with them. And when you go underneath my account, my usage, you can see here they have energy costs. So if you're curious about how much you pay every month, if you don't want to go through your physical bills or paperless bills, and then you have energy use. So for us, this is what I use to calculate how big of a generator that we needed. So this shows 12 months from September 2019 through September 2020. And I know for a fact that we had a really hot summer here in July. When you look at it, you can see that July was what we used the most energy that month. So here I'm going to click on this for July, and then what it's going to do is it's going to break down each day in July, starting from June 30th all the way through. So it looks like was this June 26th was the day we used the most power, which is here, and we use 80 kilowatts, which that breaks down to 80,000 watts of electricity for in 24 hours. So I'm going to click on that, and then what this is going to do is going to break it down for that whole day, that 24-hour period. It's going to break it down to every hour. Now this doesn't show startup wattage, but what it does is it shows you continuous wattage. So it looks like for us from 5 to 6 p.m. is when we use the most power. And according to this, we used 4.70 kilowatts, which breaks down to 4,070 watts. So this is just a little trick that you can do instead of trying to guess and use different charts that are online and everything like that to try to figure out how much energy you're actually going to be using. Again, this doesn't show startup watts, but it does show you continuous wattage, which is just as important as the startup watts. Right. So here's the front of our generator. So starting from the left, working my way over to the right, you have the low oil alert light, which this will illuminate red when the oil is low, and the engine will turn off when that happens. So you got to make sure that you check the oil. This is the off, on / start switch here. This is your you have there's a total of 7 outlets. So you have one DC 12 volt outlet, you have 4 CF uh, G I'm sorry, GFCI 120 volt outlets, which does AC. And actually there's a green light that illuminates when power is actually coming through the actual outlets for these two here. So one of the things that I have to do is I have to test these outlets to make sure that they're protected. And so I will press the test button, and when the green light goes off, I know that this is working and I can go ahead and use these outlets here. And then you have 240 volt / 120 volt and 120 volt outlet over here. The top one is 4-prong twist lock, and the bottom one is a 3-prong twist lock. These two here are protected by a 30 amp circuit breaker, which is these two here. Then the 120 volt, these are protected by these 20 amp breakers here. And then the DC breaker is 8.3 amp. All of the covers are water resistant, not waterproof, as well as the circuit breakers, even the power switch. So even though it has these type of covers on it, you're still not supposed to let this get wet or any kind of snow or anything like that on it. So you got to make sure that you protect your generator. As far as I know, there aren't any generators that are weatherproof, even though, usually when you need a generator, it's because the weather's bad. So go figure. But I'll show you, what we're using to protect our generator so that we can use it in bad weather. So anyway, this right here is our grounding cord or grounding cable. This is a 6 gauge. I think it's, I don't know, maybe around 4 feet, maybe 5 feet long. Down here, this is the oil dipstick, as well as where you will fill the oil in the engine. Down here, this is the drain plug for it. Oh, this does have an electric start, which works really well, but you need the battery. The battery does not come with the generator, so you have to purchase that separate. Over there, the yellow cable there, that's the engine to the frame grounding cable there. And then you have a total of 4 isolating bushings here. 2 on this side and then 2 on the other side there. This whole piece right here is made out of some kind of composite plastic, and the roll cage, which I believe is what they call it, this thing is like really nice. It's solid. It even has nice welds on it. Make sure that you buy the wheel kit. We have the 10-inch wheel kit on here because this generator weighs 200 pounds with no gas in it, no oil, and no battery. Once you put the battery, once you fill it up, it holds 8 gallons. This tank here is an 8-gallon gas tank. It weighs over 250 pounds, so you will have a hard time trying to move this by yourself. Speaking of the gas tank, it has over here, this is the fuel level. It's not electronic. It has a float on the inside of the gas tank, so you got to make sure that this is leveled in order to get an accurate reading on your fuel. It tells you what kind of gas that you can use. It even gives you a warning here. The run time is up to 13 hours at 50% load, and it has even a nice filter neck with a screen on the inside to catch any debris from going into the gas tank. Okay. Always make sure that you lock this all the way. And I even like how, check out the gas tank. Look at the details to it. I mean, that is just like really so cool, right? They also have helpful labels on here. You know, one, never run your generator in an enclosed space. Not indoors, not a garage, not the house, not a shed or anything, because the CO2 will kill you or make you very sick. We don't want that to happen. Make sure you read all the labels. This is a diagram of different parts, components. It also reminds you to make sure that you face the generator 5 feet away from any object. Make sure that the exhaust is not facing towards any windows. It gives you how to start the engine, whether it's doing the recoil cord or if you're doing electric start. And it even tells you how to shut it down. This is the handle that comes with the wheel kit. This right here is the part of the motor. It has a name to it. I have to look it up and I'll put it in the video. This is the muffler here, so the exhaust comes out of here as well. And this area, it gets really hot, so you have to be very careful. All right, so on this side, this right here is the vent line for the gas tank. So what it does is it actually filters down here into the back of the air box there. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this later, but what this is here, I installed this. This is a tri-fuel kit, which will allow us to be able to run our generator off of gasoline, as well as natural gas and propane. This generator only runs on gasoline only. So if you want to run it on one of those other two components I just mentioned, you have to install a tri-fuel kit, which again, I'm going to go into more details about this later in the video. But basically on this side here, the muffler, this is a muffler cover. So basically the muffler is behind this, but this stuff still gets hot because heat still comes out of here. This right here is the overhead valve cover here for the motor. This here is the carburetor, and then the spark plug is right here. And then this right here, this is the air box. Okay, so here's the back part of the generator. So going from left to right, this is the air box. In order to access the filter on the inside, which on our generator, the filter is reusable, so you can wash it and then put it back in here. I'm actually going to buy 2 additional filters because you're supposed to allow it to dry first before you run the generator again. The cover is only held on by one screw down here, and then there's two tabs up here. Here's something for you. If you notice here, I didn't have to modify the frame when I installed our tri-fuel kit. I'll tell you why later when we go into more detail about that. Okay, so right here, this is the fuel shutoff valve. So as you can see here, there's a diagram here that when it's sideways, it's off, and when it's down, it's on. Oh, let me swing this around. Forgot about this. This is the choke here, and as you can see, it has, when it's over this way, this is when the choke is on. So this is where you put it to start it. And once that generator is started running, then you can slowly move it over to run. And at this point, the generator should be running very smoothly here. Okay. This is the pull cord to start the generator manually. It is a 420cc gasoline engine, and this is the generator item number. Sorry about that. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. So this is our tri-fuel kit, which allows us to run our generator on gasoline, on natural gas, which is what we're going to be running our generator on, and propane. It came from this company, Century Fuel Products. This is low flow on-demand regulator. The on-demand means that it only allows the fuel to flow through the regulator to the engine when the engine is running. Something about negative pressure that the generator or the engine uses in order to allow some kind of mechanism on the inside of the regulator to open, which allows the fuel to flow through. And as long as the engine is running, fuel will flow through. This right here is your power valve. This is what you use to adjust the flow of fuel into the carburetor. This is a locking nut here. So once you adjust it, you tighten this nut up so that the power valve doesn't move out of adjustment. It also comes with mounting bolts. You got one here, one here. I did have to drill through the frame, which wasn't a problem. Just make sure that you use some piece of wood or some on the back side so that when your drill bit goes through, you don't drill into the gas tank. It also came with these 3/4 inch black pipe. You have two nipples, one here, and then this elbow. It also came with this ball valve. I actually installed these two pieces here. Then you also get the fuel hose with two hose clamps. This is actually 24 inches that you cut down to the size that you need. And then right here, this little white piece here, this is a breather tube. So because of installing the adapter, which is this big metal thing here, this is where the fuel is, as it's coming through here, goes into this adapter, which is in front of the carburetor, and this is what pushes the air box out, which is one of the issues that a lot of people have with their generators. When they install this type of kit, they have to modify the frame, meaning they have to cut the frame out because there's no room for the air box or to even put the air box cover back on once you install this. I'll show you the trick that I did in order to not have to do that. But coming back here to the breather tube, once I cut the breather tube from the valve cover on the engine going to the airbox, I installed this and then I put 2 hose clamps on it. There's one also for the breather tube for the gas tank, which is this one here, but I didn't have to modify this one. It was long enough when pushing the box out. So you also get the stud extenders, which looks like this right here. You get a total of 3. So there's one here, which is at the bottom of the end box, the air box, and then you have 2 that are on the actual carburetor itself, which allows you to put the adapter on there and then attach the air box back to it. So let me show you the little trick that I do in order where I didn't have to modify the cage. So the trick that for me, in order to get this air box off and on, actually take it off without having to move anything, but I use my pry bar here and I put it underneath one of the isolator pads, and then what I do is I just pry the engine over, and you see how it moves, and I move it over enough whereas I can get the air box off and then put it back on, and then once I'm done I just remove my pry bar, and there you have it. And even though it's real close to the frame here, I haven't heard any vibration, from it. Okay, so this is our setup here. So I have the generator locked up in 2 different spots. So I have one up here on the front part of the frame, and then the other back there. Here is the 10 gauge extension cord, which is a twist lock, so it's already in there, and it's in the 240 volt outlet, which leads to the inlet box on the house, which I'll show you that. The grounding cable is connected to a grounding rod that's about 2 feet down in the earth. Okay, and because we're running off of natural gas, here is the gas hose here with a quick connect here. Notice that the gas ball valve is in the off position. Put these hooks out here to kind of hook my hose and the cord up to kind of make it so they're not laying on the ground. And then right there is another this quick disconnect for the gas, and that's the main line coming in from the basement out here. And again, that shutoff valve is in the off position, so I'll turn it on first here, and then I'll come back over here and turn this one on. I'll prime the regulator there, and then I'll start it up. Let me show you the inlet box. And see, here's the inlet box. So this actually goes inside through a transfer switch, which is wired into our main control panel. So we have 10 circuits that we'll be using out of the 15 in our house. Okay, so right up there, that's where I tapped into the actual natural gas line, the one that's coming against the wall that's going to our dryer. And if you notice right here, this pipe here is 3/4 inch, and then it has a T that goes up to a 1/2 inch pipe that goes upstairs to the stove. And then the only thing I did was I tapped into there. I used the actual connector there. That's I believe it's it's a 1/2 inch, and then I put a T on there that went from a 1/2 inch to a 3/4, and then I just continued to connect pipes together all the way around, all the way until I went outside and I put a ball valve there so that I could turn this off if I ever need to. And then also you want to make sure that you have at least 6 inches of pipe going down to catch any condensation, so it doesn't, you know, be in the actual natural gas. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start her up. You notice that the gas shutoff valve is still in the off position. Now, this is only my second time starting the generator on natural gas, so you know, I'm still you know, learning how to use this particular feature of the generator, so it may or may not start up as fast as it does on gasoline. So it's kind of like a learning experience. So I'm going to prime the generator for a few seconds, and then I'm actually going to push it on start, and then I'm going to pull start. Okay, so we'll do it again. Oh, and when it's on running off of natural gas, it has to be in the run position. See, there you have it. So the actual choke has to be in the run position, which means that it's open. And let me take you around so you can see. So if you look there, you'll see the engine RPMs. Alright, so I'm going to take you inside, and then we'll start turning on switches on the transfer switch. Okay, so I'm down here in the basement. This is our transfer switch, which is wired into our main panel. As you can see, the wattage meters, they're 0. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start switching on circuits. I'm going to start with the highest draw circuit, which for us is going to be F. That's our refrigerator upstairs. So I'm going to do that one. As you see, it jumped on this side. Okay, and then the next thing that's a big draw is going to be our upright freezer, which is in the basement down here, which that's on I. So I'm gonna switch that up. All right, and then I'm gonna switch on the rest of these C through J. A and B is for our AC, so I'm not running that because it's like 40 degrees out, so we're running the heat. So I'm gonna just turn on one at a time, like so. Okay, and as you can see, yeah, we're barely using any kind of power. It's really not much that's running right now. I am going to put a load on the system. I gotta wash the loader clothes, so I'm gonna start the washing machine and the dryer, and I'm also going to turn on the water heater. All right, okay, so just wanted to show you, got a load of clothes in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start the washing machine. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and start the dryer too. I've actually already got some clothes in here, but I'm gonna just do it for 10 minutes. And then I'm also going to turn on the hot water. As you can see, the hot water heater is on. And then we're going to come back over here and check out the wattage. Also, to let you know, our gas dryer is running off of natural gas, so it's not electric. It just has an electric igniter in it, and you know, the washing machine, you know, pretty much doesn't draw a lot. So as you can see, with even running those things in the refrigerator upstairs, the freezer down here running, as well as we have a little mini fridge upstairs. You know, these are pretty much all our circuits that are wired. Another important thing that you want to do is you want to make sure you balance the load on both legs of the generator. So this is one leg, and then this is the other leg. And The way you do that is you have to calculate, give a rough estimate as to how much wattage each appliance is going to be using on that particular circuit, so that you know how to balance the load. It's not going to be perfect, because some things are going to turn on more than others and everything like that, but you just have to, it's going to be some math involved with doing that. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this. The furnace just turned on after I was finishing my other recording, and I just wanted to kind of show you where the actual furnace with it running, you see how both sides are, pretty much equal, and the generator is not even busting a sweat. It's not even at, I would say, maybe 30% of its capacity. So as you can see here, I'm actually running our microwave, which is 1,000 watts. So let's go check the RPM. Okay, so I'm outside, not sure if you can hear me, but there's the RPMs on the generator now. So she's running real good, pretty consistent as well. So you're wondering if this works well. Well, you watched the video and you've seen that on natural gas, it runs great. I haven't noticed any power loss, when running the same appliances on gasoline and natural gas. The one thing though with this particular kit, mostly the adapter, that I noticed is when I'm running it on gasoline, it will run on gasoline. The problem is that once I put a load, and it could be a small load, like I use my 33-gallon air compressor on it, and the engine sputters. And what ended up happening was I have the the choke all the way open, which is what I'm supposed to do. And when I remove the spark plug, which is right here, as you can see, this is a spark plug that's only got maybe 10 hours on it. Yeah, about 10 hours. And you see how it's charcoal, which means that the engine is running lean, which means that there's more fuel going into the engine than there is the air fuel mixture. So by having that adapter on there, somehow it's messing with the amount of air that's actually going into the engine to mix with the fuel to burn it correctly. So because of that, and I have no fix for it, I even called the manufacturer to let them know about this particular problem with our particular model generator, and they don't have a solution for it either. And I know it's the adapter because I removed the adapter and just put the air box back on, and she ran fine on the gasoline. So I know it's got something to do with the adapter. I even tried removing the air box cover along with the filter to see if maybe that would help, and that didn't help either. So if you're going to be using this kit for gasoline as well, it may not work. On natural gas, it does. It works just fine. The idea that I had is there's another company, which I'm sure you've heard of. It's called U.S. Carburation, which they have this motor snorkel kit, which actually uses the same exact regulator, same model, too. That particular kit doesn't come with these 4 pieces, though. But this is the motor snorkel, right? So what this is, this attaches to the OEM carburetor. You see how thin? Look how thin that gasket is. It takes up hardly any space compared to that adapter. And then this particular piece here goes actually into the carburetor and puts the fuel actually into the carburetor, whereas opposed to the adapter is on the front of the carburetor. So I believe this would actually work better, and you shouldn't have the issue with the actual gasoline. Now I bought this so that I could put it on our generator to use it with gasoline. The problem is, as you can see, this hose is a lot smaller than the hose that's on our actual the power valve here. See how small it is. So I have to order the power valve from US Carburation in order to attach to here. But you know, I'm not in a rush for it because right now we're running it off of natural gas and it runs just perfectly. So, but I'm going to put a link in the description for both of these, and you could decide which one it is that you want to use for your particular generator. Alright, so as you can see here, if you can hear me, we have our generator running, and you see our 3-ton AC is running. I'm going to take you inside so that you can take a look at the wattage meter. Alright, so here at the transfer switch, and as you can see, I have all of the circuits switched to gen mode, which are all of these here. So these are the readings here, for both legs of the generator, which they're running pretty good. They're almost at max, almost, for the most part. But check this out. So we have our stand-up freezer right here, that's on. We have our gas dryer that we've been using for about 40 minutes or so, as well as our washing machine. And then over there is our water heater. So these right down here, these are all on one circuit, 20 amp circuit. Then of course we have the furnace that's on right now. And look at how well it's doing. And I've actually been running a test now because I'm done breaking her in. For the most part, she's about maybe 7 hours now. So I've been kind of just testing her out, just kind of seeing how much she can handle from everything in the house. So this generator is awesome. We haven't had any problems. Of course, it spikes up a lot, when you have when AC turns on and everything like that, but I haven't tripped any breakers on the generator itself or in here. And it's just a really powerful generator. It could literally run our whole house if we had an additional 5 circuits that we could put in this transfer panel here. We could actually run our whole house, have all the switches up, and just use stuff. So right now we've run, what have I done? I've tried the microwave, I've tried with the AC running, the microwave, the refrigerator upstairs. We even got a small fridge upstairs as well. All of this stuff has been running, and this is pretty much how much it is that we're using. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just run another test. It's about 55 degrees out right now. So we do have the heat on in the house, but it hasn't been turned on that much. But also, I end up filling up the gas tank, which you can see there. It's probably got about maybe 7.5 gallons of gas in there. And this is the hours on it. So I'm just curious to how much gas we actually burn around this time of year when we're not running the AC. So I'm actually going to start her up, let her run for pretty much about 10 hours, and I'm going to come back and show you. Okay, so I'm inside by the transfer switch now, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch on circuit C through J. A and B is for our AC, and we're not using that, so it's no need for me to switch that on. So right now, the only thing that's really drawing significant power is our upright freezer, the dishwasher is running now, and the upstairs big refrigerator and freezer, and then we have a small little fridge, and then lights and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to start with the furnace first because that draws the most power. So that's going to be D, which is not going to do anything because the furnace isn't on. So I'm going to switch that one on. And then I'm going to go ahead, since the dishwasher's running, that's E. I'm going ahead and switch that one. Okay. And let's see. It's really not moving that much. Yeah, it's not pulling a lot of power there. Okay, and then I'm going to just start slowly switching all of the other circuits. Okay, I heard the I heard the generator jump, as you can see. What is this? F. F is the fridge upstairs. Okay, and then you slowly see the watt meters moving. Yeah, and I'm probably going to do a load of laundry too. So as of right now, this is all the power we're using in the house. And I should see a significant fuel economy, with this, because it's not going to spike up that much, really, not during the day, because we don't use a lot of lights. Okay, so I just wanted to show you I put a load on the generator, and you see we have our gas dryer running out. Just put on 10 minutes. The washing machine, I'm running a hot water. So as you can see, the hot water heater, zoom in over there, you see that it's on. All right, this freezer is on here, and check it out. So those particular all of these down here that I just showed you, those are on I circuit. So this is all the power that we're using now, just with that stuff, and the dishwasher is still running upstairs. So this just kind of goes to show you that this generator, it can literally run your whole house, depending on the type of energy that you use, and then also the type of appliances. But in our case, it can literally run our house easily. So I decided to go ahead and bump up the heat so the furnace turns on, just so I can see how the generator handles the load. So I have some clothes in the dryer. The hot water heater is on, which you can see the light there. So I'm running the water here. You can hear that the furnace is on. Then I'm gonna walk over here, and you can see the wattage. And so it's actually a pretty balanced load right now. And I think the dishwasher is still running upstairs as well. So so this is just to kind of give you an idea of what this particular generator, what it can handle. All right, so I'm all done running her for the day. Looking at the hours meter, 20.8 hours, and I believe when I started it was 10.7 hours. So it's been just a little over 10 hours. And here's the fuel level. So it kind of looks like it's maybe 1.5, maybe 2 gallons left in here. And this is a 13-hour runtime at 50% load, and I believe the most that we ran was 2,200 watts. On average, it was between, I would say, anywhere from maybe 1,000 to 2,000 watts, kind of depending on what we were running. But anyway, no problems or anything. She ran very well. All right, so I'm actually done using the generator, and I'm going to go ahead and switch everything back to line mode, which is utility mode. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is how, you know, we shut down our generator, specifically because we use a transfer switch. And so what you want to do is want to cut all power coming into the house first before you turn off the actual generator. And now I'm going to go ahead and shut the gas off right here. You see how fast she turns off. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this valve off too. And then I'm going to disconnect the hose, cable, wrap everything up, take off the gen tent, and then put it back in storage. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot. You got to make sure to turn off the turn it to the off position, the power button there. So this is where we store our generator, in the garage. I keep it covered when not in use. We have it locked up with a cable lock on the back, just in case if, you know, we leave our garage door open or someone broke in the garage, they won't be able to just walk off with it. Right here I have the natural gas / propane hose. That's 15 feet. These are the 25-foot extension cord. Then there's a 10-foot extension cord back here. Then we have the gen tent bag that we keep all of the stuff for the gen tent stored in. And then over here we have 2 cables and 2 heavy-duty locks, so that way we can lock up our generator outside, you know, when we're using it, because we don't want anybody to walk off with it. Because I've read online that it's very important to make sure that you lock your generator up, because thieves will come and they will walk off with it. And one of the things that they do is they will use a lawnmower. They will start the lawnmower, let it run while your generator's running. Then they'll turn off your generator, walk off with the generator, and leave the lawnmower there. So you'll hear a noise and you'll be thinking that it's your generator, but no, it's really not. It's a lawnmower. So keeping all of this stuff in this one area makes it easier for me as a reminder of all of the different things that I have to do when setting this up, so that I don't forget anything, because, you know, I'm new at this. This is a new thing for me, and we've only had the generator for a couple months now. Okay, so right here is the storage cover for the generator, and this is water resistant, not waterproof, water resistant, also snow resistant, windproof, and it goes all the way down to the ground. There's also drawstring on the back part back there that you can tighten this bottom part in, you know, so that you can fit it a little better, so that way when it's outside and it's windy, it won't blow away. There's also a door here with you have 2 clamps that you have to undo, and then the door just is Velcro. So this way, you know, I can lift up the handle and I can actually wield this wherever I need to without having to take the whole cover off. And there's also these straps, Velcro straps here, that attaches to the frame. There's one on both sides, and as you can see with the silver lining on the inside, this is UV ray protected. So if you wanted to leave your generator outside, let's say you're expecting a storm or something, but you don't want it running, but you want to just have your generator outside, you can use this here to store it outside, until you're ready to use it. This cover is not made for running the generator while this cover's on there. This has to be removed. This is for storage only to protect it. So this is a great accessory to have for your portable generator. This is a Gen Tent Canopy, and this is actually a really good way to protect your generator in like bad weather, wind, snow, rain, stuff like that. It has this actual see-through piece here. I believe it's called the apron. This was an additional cost. This one right here is the one that actually it came with here. So as you can see, this is the muffler here, this part right here, but everything else is pretty much covered. Okay, and this thing is like really unique too. So like right up under here, this is the door that you can refuel your generator, here. So you don't even have to take this off. And then the way that these aprons fix on here is Velcro as well. So it's like a really good product. I haven't tested it out yet as far as in the bad weather and stuff like that, but this was a much better choice than using like a garden shed or something like that, which is what I was looking at. And this allows it to breathe and allows the engine to do its thing with air cooling and stuff like that. So again, this is something that with all the options that are out there, this is like, to me, the best option for this. And as you can see, the cord actually, I can still use it, it'll still protect everything, even the battery down there, and stuff. So this is the Gen Tent itself and accessories. This is the Gen 10 bag that we put all of our Gen 10 stuff inside of. It's a really nice bag. It has two compartments. You got a big one, and then you got a small one here. The bag is very durable. The only issue I have is the zipper. They use such a flimsy zipper. It's like really small teeth, and it's plastic. And what happens is when I'm zipping it up, once I have everything inside of it, the zipper sometimes comes loose. But outside of that, it's really nice. These are the different aprons. So you have the electric panel see-through apron. This is the apron that actually comes with the Gen 10, which is this piece here. That's the Gen 10. That's the part that goes on over the generator. And then this is a storage apron, which goes around the entire bottom, protecting the bottom part of the generator when you're not actually using the generator. So you could basically use this as a storage cover for your generator. These are the rods that you install on the holders that's on the actual generator that holds the Gen Tent Canopy on top of it. And then this little guy here is how you put the rod on the inside, and then you attach it to the generator, which I'll show you that. So yeah, this is pretty much it, and you can put this on your generator from start to finish in probably like 5 to 10 minutes. So there's a total of 4 of these clamps here that clamps on each side of the generator frame. And there's a thumb screw on here that you can use to loosen and tighten the clamp. And what I do is I just leave the clamps on our generator. I just loosen them up enough so that I can kind of swing this out of the way. so that, you know, when I'm not using the Gen 10, you know, I don't have to take these off, put them back on, you know, and so forth. And it has a rubber gasket on the inside of it, so to make the clamp be more secure, because our frame is kind of on the small side. And so I've already adjusted the clamps on the other three corners there, and it's just as simple as that. And then now I'm going to show you how easy it is to put the Gen 10 on. Okay, so I brought all four of the rods over here, and basically this particular piece here, it already has the word up on it, and then, you know, all I do is, for the first one, I just go ahead and insert it there, and then I insert it on the hole that's closest to the frame on the generator first. Okay, and then I just stick this one in there, and then I come over and do the same thing on this side. And all I have to do is I just got to make sure that these are all the way in the holes on this clamp here, and then down here, like so. You gotta excuse that. And see, it's all together. And now I'm gonna just put the canopy on top. Now I'm actually going to face this with the door facing towards the camera, because I just wanted to show you the opening again. But normally the door will be facing that way, the fuel door for the fuel. So all you do is you just kind of throw it on here like this, and then they have straps here, and the only thing that you have to do is put the straps on the actual bracket itself on all four corners. And I'm doing this live. I'm not stopping the video or anything. Okay? So once I do that, then I take one of the skirts. I'm just going to demonstrate just one, where you just flip it up as you see the Velcro here. All I have to do is just stick this on Velcro just like that, and just go all the way around. And that's pretty much it, you know. And then let me pull you down a little bit. And then, you know, when I need to fill the gas tank, this is the gas tank filler door right here. And I can go ahead and I can fill this up. I don't even have to take this off. And this is all Velcro too on both sides. So you see how fast I put that on. Didn't take hardly any time. This particular, again, Canopy is, you know, waterproof, windproof, as well as snowproof. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it can withstand hurricane winds up to 75 miles an hour. So this is the 10-inch wheel kit. And there's two options for this generator. There's the 8-inch, and then there's the 10-inch. Some of you may, you know, consider doing the 8-inch. I suggest that you do the 10-inch. The reason why is because the 10-inch one, it lifts the generator a little higher off the ground, so that you can actually slide a container underneath the generator so that you can catch the oil that comes out. So observe, this is my drain pan here. Okay, all I have to do, I have to slide it through the back part, but check it out. See, real easy. Now, I can't fit this through right here because the drain pan is too wide, but I can through the back, and this makes it so much easier when it comes to me draining the oil. If I had the 8-inch wheel kit, I wouldn't be able to do that. So that's one advantage. The other advantage is that when you're moving this around like grass or dirt or something like that, these wheels are so much better because they don't dig into the ground because they're much fatter and wider. And then also look at the tread pattern. It just makes it so much easier to do that. Now, I have the 3-inch swivel casters on the front that I installed, and the 3-inch actually levels this perfectly, so that it's not uneven. As a matter of fact, I had started out with a 4-inch caster, but it actually had the front raised up too high, so I ended up having to go down to the 3-inch caster. So let me move this out of the way. All right, so with the wheel kit comes the rubber feet, which I'll show you that, and which these here, they come with, and they fit right up here on the front. Okay, and then you also get this nice handle, this T handle. Has a locking pin here that hangs on there. You don't even have to worry about trying to keep up with it. And all you do is you just lift it up, put the pin in, and then that's it. You're good to go. Yep, good to go. Okay, and then when you're done, put it up, fold it down. You got to make sure that you put the pin back in, because if you don't, it's this is going to move. And you can always use the roll cage too as a handle as well as you're moving this. So this is actually really solid and makes it easy to move the generator around. Another cool thing that you can add to your generator, and it doesn't have to be the one that we have, but pretty much any generator, is swivel locking casters. The reason why I say that is because these make it so much easier when you're trying to move your generator, especially if you have to move it in and out of a garage or a shed. If you store it somewhere where it's not stationary in the same spot all the time, which is the case for us. Since ours is stored in our garage, I have to wheel it out of the garage and then set it up in the backyard. And even though we have the 10-inch wheel kit on the back wheels, what I've noticed is this is the rubber feet that came with that kit. The rubber feet work just fine, but the issue is when I'm trying to get it out of this door right here, there's the outside of the garage is lower than the floor in here in the garage. And so when I'm trying to lift I literally have to lift the generator up over this step here, the door frame, outside. And then once I get it outside, I got to keep lifting it and kind of dragging it to pull it out. And you can kind of see how the rubber feet are kind of deformed. And I haven't done it that many times. I think I may have taken it out of here about maybe 5 times. So the solution was to replace this with this here, and it works great. So this wheel is made out of all steel. You have a double locking brake here, and it works really good. It locks the wheels real well. You have a double ball bearing, so you have it up here, no, not there, right here, and then also underneath here. These are heavy duty. They're rated for 300 pounds
per wheel or 1,000 per the set, which is a set of 4. And then this is a PVC rubber here, and they work really well. They work really well. So, this is something that you can actually, may consider if you were trying to put wheels on. And I think these were about $30 for a set of 4. So let's say, for example, if you don't want to do the wheel kit from Harbor Freight for the Predator generator, you can actually go with these and put these on, and these will work just fine. You don't even need those big wheels, because really all you want is you're just trying to make it easy and make it to where you can move the generator around because it's so heavy and bulky, without much effort on your part. Okay, so just want to show you how easy it is to move our generator with the swivel casters on the front. More so just, having turn it and everything like that. And you see how easy that is? I mean, it moves so easy. It's like the weight of the generator isn't even affecting them at all. And also, they move really well in the grass too. So, then when I want to lock it, because I actually do lock the wheels when it's in storage here. And you see, I can't even move it. So yeah, these are really nice. All right, so here is the battery for the electric start. This doesn't come with the generator. You have to purchase that separate. I bought mine from Harbor Freight. I'm sure you can buy, this particular size battery from anywhere. And it wasn't that expensive. And to me, it's a nice feature to, it's a nice thing to have. I know some people, say that, it's, you don't really need it because the pull start is really easy, which is true. But I still think that having this as a way to start the generator, you know, for the amount of money that you're going to pay for it, I still say that it's worth it. Especially for somebody that may not want to pull the pull cord, to start the engine. It doesn't cost that much. I think it was about maybe $30 or something like that. The other thing is some people say that they hook up a trickle charger to it and everything. Well, that's not really necessary if you run your generator at least every 2 months for at least 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, you're supposed to, exercise your generator, every 2 to 3 months if you're not using it on a regular basis. So by doing that, it also recharges the battery. So you shouldn't have to do that. So that's what I would recommend. All right. So these are my meters. This one right here, this was the first hour meter that I bought. Works great. As you can see, it's on. This one actually stays on. It doesn't cut off. What it does is when the engine is running, it detects the spark, and then the little hourglass on the side over here, it goes and see right over here, it starts to flash, and that lets you know that it's actually registering the spark. Okay, so this one here, this one is, as you can see on the bottom, it's a tech slash hour meter, but it also has a reminder for 2 maintenance items, which I have for oil and I have for the air filter. This one actually turns on automatically once it detects spark. It does not turn off on its own. Once you turn off the engine, you actually have to press these 2 buttons to turn it off. So I'm actually going to turn it on now. And this is also backlit display, so it works really good. So another thing that I really like about this one is when as soon as I opened it up and I turned it on, I was actually able to set the total hours from the first meter that I had on here. You can only do it within the first hour after you start using it. Once that's done, you can't change it. And so, therefore, I was able to program this one. And then, this is the actual time. It always displays the time when the engine's not running. And it'll also show you the service interval depending on, which one that you have set. And then it always shows you the hours. Once the engine is running, it shows you the engine RPM, which is a really nice feature, which is what I wanted, because I wanted to kind of see what the RPMs were, with different loads and everything like that. So, this one, I would suggest to go with this one here over this one here. It costs a little more, but to me, it's worth it because it has those extra features, plus it's backlit display. This one over here, this was not backlit display at all. And so again, all I have to do to turn it off is I just hold the button on. See, it says off, turn it off. Also, this one has a serviceable battery. So you can actually, it's Velcroed on there. So you take the battery cover off, replace the battery, you're good to go. This one does not have a serviceable battery. Can't talk. And you can't, this is not Velcroed on there. Of course, you could do that yourself, but the tape that came with it's a 3M tape. So it doesn't come off easily at all. And once you take it off, you're going to have to replace the tape. Whereas this one, you got the Velcro there. So this is our gas can that we use. We have 3 of these. We can only store 3 of these in our garage because of space. So some of the features of this gas can, you have 2 handles. You have one here, and then you have this one right here. This is 5 gallons. It does have the indication on here. Let's see if I could hold this up. Like right here, it has liters on this side, and back here, it has gallons. Actually, it has both. It has liters on this side, and it has gallons on this side here. It has an actual cap for the funnel here. You have a push button here, which allows the gas to flow through the funnel into the tank. You have to depress it and hold it. While you're depressing it in, the gas will continue to flow. Once you let it go, the gas stops. And there is no like drip, drip, it stops instantly. You have a little, I guess you could call it a handle here, which makes it kind of comfortable to hold. I will say though, when I filled up our generator a few times with this, it took a couple minutes, and it can almost give you finger cramp having to hold this button down, because it's not hard, but it's not real easy either. So, but it does make it comfortable right here. The other thing is, like it says on here, no spills, which that is true. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to show you what's on the inside. It actually has a screen on the inside. So you see that there? See, it has a screen. So as you're filling this up, you don't have to worry about any garbage or any dirt like that getting into the actual gas. And I believe this can come out. I'm not going to touch it now because it has gas on it and I'm recording, but I believe you could pull the screen out, clean it, and then put it back in. Okay. And the last thing that I really like about this is that the this swivels around so that you can angle it pretty much any which way that you need to in order to fill whatever tank that you're trying to fill. So, if you're needing a 5-gallon gas tank, I'm sorry, 5-gallon gas can, I would recommend this. It's like really nice. I really like it. It feels like it's real durable, and I haven't had any problems with it. Oh, one last thing, I almost forgot. When you're filling your tank, once gas touches the funnel here, even if you're depressing the green button, it's supposed to stop the flow of gas going through so you don't overfill. I haven't been able to test that one out yet, but that's another feature of this gas can. So here is a Reliance Control power failure light with built-in alarm and LED flashlight. So the way this works is, as you can see on the picture here, you plug this into your wall outlet, and what it does is this light here, this is the power indicator light. So this, as long as this green light is on, it lets you know that there's power coming through the outlet. As soon as the power goes off, whether you have a power outage or let's say you're running your generator, right? And you plug this into one of the outlets that's being powered by your generator. Let's just say someone tried to steal your generator. They have to turn it off in order to do it. So this will sound by an alarm as well as the LED light to let you know that there's a loss of power. And here's the back of the package. So we started out with just one, and I like this so much that I had bought a second one. So we're basically using this for security for the generator. So in case if someone was trying to steal it, and they unhooked our generator while it was running, we would know it in the house because this alarm would sound. The other is we've had times where the power went out when we were asleep and didn't even know it. And so again, this will sound, and it's not like obnoxiously loud, but it's loud enough to be able to wake you like, oh, something's wrong. So here's a close-up of it. This is the LED here, and right here you have off, you have light, which when you switch it to light, it works as a flashlight, and then you have armed. When you have it in armed, that means as soon as you plug it in. Well, here, let me show you. You see how it's beeping because it's not plugged into a socket. So, and you see the light is on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into this socket right here. Bam, see? Isn't that cool? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to simulate a power outage here in our garage. I'm going to turn off the power in here, and you're going to see it light up, and you're going to hear it flash. So see how cool that is? And it worked, instantly. So this is, something that you may want to consider, and it's a nice little, security tool. All right, you guys made it to the end of my video. I am sorry that it was so long. I did have a lot of things I wanted to share with you, and I'm hoping that you found, some of it useful, if not all of it. If you have any questions about anything, or if you would like additional information about anything that's in this video, post them down in the comments and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can.
Also want to say to you, have a blessed day, as well as being a blessing to someone else. And I'll see you in the next video. See you later.